In this video, I'm going to explain what harmonic mixing is and why it will take your mixes to the next level. Harmonic mixing, otherwise known as mixing in key, is when you mix two or more tracks together which are either in the same or in a related key. Now, if you want to understand this on a theoretical level, we have made a complete music theory course covering everything you need to know for composing electronic music. However, as a quick description for those who don't know, knowing the key of a piece of music can allow musicians to instantly identify what group of musical notes were used to construct that piece of music. And therefore, it makes it easy for them to play their instruments using the same group of notes. This is basically what allows musicians to jam together on the spot or quickly improvise over another musician playing something else. It's because they can play using the same keys. It's a way they communicate with a sort of musical language. Now, when you are mixing two tracks in the same or in a related key, they tend to sound much better when played together. They sound more harmonious, in other words. Let me give you an analogy. Let's say you're listening to somebody sing and their singing sounds terrible. The reason why they sound so bad is because they would be singing out of tune, or in other words, out of key with the music in the background. When they sound good, that means they're singing in tune or in key with the music playing in the background. The same applies to DJing. You may have noticed a column in Rekordbox titled Key. Below this column, you'll see a letter, which is sometimes followed by a lowercase m, a lowercase b, a hashtag symbol, or a combination of them. Now, these letters and symbols let us know what the key of that track is. In other words, the key that was used to construct that piece of music. Now, when you mix two tracks which are in the same key, it's very likely that they will sound quite good when played together. Of course, there are other factors such as genre, energy level, tempo. However, key plays a big part in this as well. For example, if I mix a track with vocals over a track without vocals, most of the time I'll want to make sure that the tracks I'm mixing are in the same or in related keys. This will ensure that the vocals sound in tune when played over the other track. Now, I want to give you a quick example of this. So I've loaded two tracks here. They're both related in key. They're both in the A minor key. And I'm just going to beat sync them. I'm not going to use the deck. I'm going to press play on one of the tracks, and then I'm going to push play on the next track a phrase later. Now, they both have somewhat of a little bit of a vocal, but the one with the proper prominent vocals is only for tonight. And I just want you to notice how good they sound when played together and how you wouldn't really know that it's two tracks playing over each other because they combine so nicely into one. And primarily because they are related in key. So let's go. And there you have it. Two tracks related in key, sounding really great together because they are in the same exact key. Of course, other elements play a part in this, which I will talk about, but I just wanted to give you this quick example. Now, I want to go through what all of the symbols and letters mean so you know what you're looking at. So let me begin with talking about the hashtag symbol. When you see this is known as a sharp in music theory. The lowercase b is known as a flat, and the lowercase m is known as a minor. So when you see the hashtag symbol, this is a sharp, lowercase b is a flat, and lowercase m is a minor. For example, if we look at this track over here, which has an uppercase A followed by a lowercase m, this would be spoken as an A minor. This one over here would be spoken as an F sharp. This over here would be spoken as an F sharp minor. This over here would be an A flat minor. And the ones without any additional letters or symbols are purely known as major keys. So this would be an A major. So to reiterate, A minor, F sharp minor, A flat minor, and A major. So each one of these little letters and symbols, they mean something, and you usually speak them when you're trying to identify the key the track is in. Now, just so you understand, different combinations of these equals different keys. For example, when you see an uppercase letter with no other letters beside it, this is known as a major key. And this is a completely different key when you compare it to the same letter with any sort of symbol or lowercase letter beside it. For example, this A major is a completely different key to this A minor. Even though they both have the letter A in the beginning, I just want to make sure that you know that they are completely different keys. Now that we've got that out the way, let me show you how you can utilize this. Now, of course, I don't expect you to know which keys work well together off by heart. Not even really experienced musicians necessarily know what keys work together off by heart. However, Rekordbox has a really useful feature that lets you know which tracks are in the same or related key. In other words, which sound harmonious together. So if you activate what's known as the traffic light feature, and you can do this by simply pushing this button over here, Rekordbox will highlight the key column with a green color, just like it's done on mine, on any track that is in the same or related key to the track currently placed on the master deck. So you can see on deck 2, this is listed as the master deck, and it's showing me with a green highlight which tracks are related in key to the master deck. The master deck is in the key of A minor, the track that I've loaded, and you can see all the A minors plus some other related tracks are being highlighted. Perfect. Now, as I would be DJing, when I switch into this track and turn this one down, Rekordbox would actually make this the master track, and then it would show me tracks related in key to this one. The reason why nothing changed here is because this one's also in A minor, so if I put a flat minor there, you'll see now the highlighted green keys have switched. Now, this way, whenever you're making playlists or picking new tracks to mix, you can see what tracks would work well together. And we're going to be using this a lot to make all of our mixes sound much more harmonious moving forward. I want to mention a quick side tip which is extremely important. When you're mixing in key, you must make sure this MT, which stands for master tempo, is turned on. Now, you've got this master tempo button on pretty much all high-end DJ decks. And for the ones where you're using Rekordbox alongside them, such as controllers, you can actually just toggle it on and off using the mouse click over here. Now, what this will do is make sure the key or the pitch of your track will stay exactly the same as what it was originally, even if the tempo has slowed down or sped up. Let me just explain a little bit more about this just so you fully understand it. You see, by default, naturally, physics dictates that the faster something plays back, in other words, the faster the vibrations, the higher the pitch. So if we have master tempo off and we move up the tempo or down, you're actually going to hear the pitch of the music change. I'm just going to demonstrate that quickly. I'll press play. See how it went up, back down? And what this does is it technically changes the key that the track is in. So from A minor, if it goes down, it will go down to G, down to F, down to D to E, and then to D. Now, if you don't know music theory, don't worry about the actual letters I'm speaking about. The main idea that you should understand is that the pitch is going to change. So unless master tempo is on, if you've taken an A minor track and you've changed the tempo, that track will no longer be in A minor. Therefore, mixing in key won't really work anymore. With master tempo on, however, Rekordbox ensures that the key stays exactly the same no matter what tempo you've adjusted it to. I'll demonstrate that now. I've turned master tempo on. I'll press play and move it up and down so you can hear the result. See how as I move the tempo up and down, the pitch stays the same, meaning our key stays the same. So as a rule of thumb, whenever you want to utilize mixing in key, make sure the MT button or master tempo is on both decks. And try not to confuse this with the master, because on some CDJs you have an MT button right above the tempo fader, but you also have a master button, which simply dictates which track is listed as the currently playing master track. Finally, I just want to show you how you can see what tracks are related to the current track that you're playing if you're on a standalone all-in-one system or on CDJs. Now, if you're on CDJs, you have to make sure the CDJs are linked with an Ethernet cable. I've shown you how to do this in one of the earlier videos, but you can also view the quick start guide, which we've linked in the materials section of the course. Now, once your decks are linked, when you're browsing through a playlist, you can simply tap on the menu button, scroll down to sort, select either BPM or key, and when you do that, these icons pop up. Now, whenever you see one of these icons highlighted in green, it means that that track is either in the same key or in a related key to the track that is currently listed as the master track. And the one that's listed as the master track, there would usually be the master button highlighted in orange, as you can see over here. And that's how you can find tracks related in key on the spot as you're actually mixing using CDJs. And it's exactly the same process using an all-in-one system such as the XDJ RX2.